Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is your Geek Out for today. The recipient of the random giveaway, as instituted on Friday, the person who commented on all the articles we linked in the description of Friday's Geek Out, is Griff. Congratulations, thank you for doing that. And if you want to get, well, at least the possibility of an Amazon gift card worth $15, all you need to do today is comment and leave a worthwhile comment on every one of the Locker Room blog posts that we've linked in this particular Geek Out video description. It's really easy to do, and only one of you is going to get it today. Who will it be? You have a chance. Did you try this QR code the other day and it didn't work? You may want to try it again, so long as you have an Android or iOS phone with Instagram installed. And remember that Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, live on YouTube, I will be streaming my first Windows 8 installation live on YouTube. That link is already set up. You can click it, and I think about 350 of you already like that video, which is cool. It's just going to be a regular old laptop, no touchscreen, although if enough people like the first one, maybe I'll do another installation thoughts around Windows 8 on a touchscreen device. Indiegogo versus Kickstarter. Yeah, Kickstarter seems to get all the attention, but Indiegogo exists as well, and it's just as good of a platform for getting your idea from inception to actual production and, of course, dissemination. It's a lot of shuns. And hopefully you would shun neither platform. Either way, if Kickstarter turned you off, you may want to check into Indiegogo. Each one has its benefits and drawbacks. Craigslist is testing maps on listings. I remember the first time I used Craigslist, I had no idea it even existed when I lived in Iowa. Then I moved out to SF and they said, oh, you can get it on Craigslist. And I looked at it and I'm like, wow, this is one of the worst designed websites I've ever seen. And that was back in like the year 2000. So there were like 4 websites online at that point in time. The design has not evolved really any. So the fact that they're including maps, it's, believe it or not, kind of big news. Do you guys use Craigslist? For what? Organizing photo collections. Why no transportability? This is my biggest frustration with managing images. I have some of them on Instagram, I have some of them on Flickr, and then Facebook and Google+, and then of course I upload others to random web services. I even have some locally that I don't share with anybody, but it's just impossible to keep everything synchronized. That's the biggest frustration I have. It's one of the reasons why I really don't bother to do much organization around photos anymore, because it's just not, transportable. I can't take it everywhere. I don't want to live in one system. I live everywhere, even if I seldom leave the house. Geek is an attitude. That's right. It's part of you. It's what you are. It's who you are. It's core to your being. An attitude, man. Anybody could take on that attitude because I'm going to be me, and I don't care who you think you are or who you think I am. I'm me. I'm happy to be me. I'm proud to be me. And I'm very passionate about things. I'm not yelling. Really, I'm not. Just very passionate. There's a difference between the two. Although I do tend to yell a lot, don't I? Like, especially when I do these videos. Because I just get so into them. I love talking about this kind of stuff. That's part of being a geek. That's my attitude. The beauty of the cosmos. Hubble's hidden treasures. There's NGC 1763. Isn't she a beaut? I mean, there's just so much wonder in the universe. And I stand in awe. And gotta tell you, ever since I was a kid, it always kind of frightened me when I looked up into the sky because it just went on and on and on forever. Kind of like a lot of the videos that I record for YouTube. But certainly I would say that what we are is a part of this thing that nobody can explain. We don't even know what we don't know. And that's kind of exciting. I'm glad to be human. I'm glad to be here. And I'm certainly glad the Hubble Telescope is bringing back photos that otherwise these eyes would never see. If you don't think science is awesome... Okay, that was angry. I was really yelling there. Science is awesome. It kicks ass. Why geek culture really hasn't changed much in 30 years. Do you know old geeks? And I don't mean me, by the way. I mean, just because I remember seeing The Dark Crystal in the theater. Do you guys remember that movie? No. Just because I know who Benji is. Remember that dog? We just don't change. Geeks age gracefully because they stay the same. They are themselves. You are yourself. And I mean, you're going to change over time, but you still are you. right? And you love what it is that you do, right? That's being a geek. Be passionate throughout your life. And I don't think those trends, even though they come and go, are going to change. I think geek is always going to be hip, not hipsters. They're faux hip. Geeks are really hip. Followers versus fans. I wrote an article yesterday and had published it. I really do want your thoughts on this one because I do have a lot of followers. I do. And I do have a lot of fans, but there's a big difference between a follower and a fan, and I would much rather concentrate my time and attention on the fans rather than the followers, right? Everyone's, oh, you need more numbers, you need bigger numbers, you need more subscribers. No. I mean, it's fun, to see, but, how many fans do I really have? How many people actually care about what it is that I have to share, even if they disagree, right? Fans aren't fickle. Followers are. And I'm very grateful that you follow me everywhere, not just on YouTube, but every social network. I'm very grateful. Okay, let me put it this way. If you are not subscribed to the Locker Gnome email newsletter, I don't know if I could consider you a fan. I mean, that is core to us delivering information that so many people appreciate. So many people open that newsletter because we take our time and we pay attention to you as a part of our community. I hope to be able to convert more followers into fans. Will Microsoft track your data through SmartScreen? I'm guessing that this is just kind of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But apparently, in the SmartScreen feature of Windows 8, the data may be passed. The usage, like let's say you download a program, it says, hey, do you want your computer to access the program that you're trying to access right now? That data is sent to Microsoft's servers. I mean, yes, there are potential privacy implications, but come on, dude, that's like so benign. Like if you're really worried about privacy, don't ever download anything or do anything with the internet. That's really kind of the bottom line. I think it's a tempest in a teapot. I am concerned about my own privacy, certainly, but I think relatively benign information being passed back and forth, I don't know. I don't think Microsoft's building a profile about me. What would they know? What could they possibly glean? Guild Wars 2, connection errors, halt entry access hours after pre-launch. Got a question. How many Guild Wars 2 fans do we have in the audience? We've been posting a couple tips and tricks to the website, but we want to make sure we're addressing your needs. And I have not played it yet. I'm afraid of kind of getting sucked into that whole thing. And I have important things to do. Not to say that playing Guild Wars 2 would not be important to those who happen to like it. Hector, robotic helper designed to assist seniors living alone. Remember that video with my grandpa? He's, to me, the world's oldest geek. And he proves it, right? Well, Hector is this cute robot. And yes, I use the word cute. Look at that. Look at that guy. Wouldn't you want a Hector, even if you're not a senior living alone? You want Hector living with you. Hector looks good. Why would you turn that? What could go wrong? Is there going to be a robot uprising? Haha. Yeah, right. How to make Internet Explorer 10 run 64-bit. Yeah, it's actually something many people want to do. And you got to understand, we do our best to tap into your intelligence. And I know many of you are, I use Google Chrome. That's cool. But do you realize that Google Chrome is the #1 web browser to visit lockergnome.com? Number 2, very shortly thereafter, is Internet Explorer 8, 9, and 10. So we still have to pay attention to that audience because there are people still using Internet Explorer. And I'm not putting you down at all. I'm trying to help. And if you want to run that browser as securely as you possibly can, 64-bit may be the way to go. And we'll show you how to toggle that. Home theater design tips and mistakes. I have a home theater at home. Of course, it makes sense because it is a home theater. And I have the speakers built into the ceiling, which makes it nice for 7.1 surround sound. I made a few mistakes, and I would hope that you would not repeat the mistakes that I made. I think every home needs some kind of den where a family could hang out and enjoy media, beyond just looking at a small screen. No one wants to huddle around a small screen. Do you guys have a home theater? I mean, and no, not just a television, not just a little screen. I mean, a home what you would consider a home theater. What is your favorite part about it? And I'm guessing that, yes, the technology is a part of it, but it's more of what that technology enables, like being able to hang out with others. You wouldn't want to enjoy, well, maybe you do, but I can't imagine enjoying a home theater alone. Robot hand is lifelike and cost-effective. Prosthetics are a way of life for some people, and, I guess technology is going to help those prosthetics work better. I mean, I hope that I would never have to experience a prosthetic, but if I did, I suppose being half robot wouldn't be horrible. Can artificial intelligence detect crime before it happens? Have you seen this precog stuff, from like Minority Report? I guess this technology is theoretically possible. I mean, I suppose if you had enough information about me and my behaviors, if placed inside the right program, like a computer program, you could make some guesses. Am I going to be someone who is a danger to society? Some argue that I already am. I'm not. How could you be a danger if you rarely leave the house? Danger to the camera, maybe, but no. It's an expensive camera. I wouldn't want to damage it. Being able to predict crime. If the technology is there, should you use it? This is really kind of spooky stuff. Imagine if you got accused of doing something you haven't even done yet. That's happened to me before, and I gotta tell you, it's frustrating. What to look for in a laptop bag. You know what I look for? Wheels! I need wheels! Because I ain't gonna lug that thing around. I don't care how light that laptop is. I want to wheel myself from point A to point B. Why not back up on paper? There's a novel idea. You have all these documents, right? And they're electronic. But what about actually printing them out and storing them somewhere? It's a backup. It's a feasible backup. May not be as scalable, but wouldn't you feel better having something physical to back up? How consumer technology parallels the automotive industry. I remember a time when the technology in the car kind of sucked. Technology in the car today is getting better. Still kind of expensive, but there was a time when the usability of our consumer electronics devices was questionable. And then kind of came the revolution that you got to admit, Apple kind of kickstarted. Everything became suddenly usable, or more usable, more intuitive. I'm still waiting for the car to catch up. And you might remember a video I uploaded a while ago. I still think that Android could take off if more car manufacturers used it as a platform versus whatever the hell they're developing now, which sucks. Digital humans. H+, the digital series explores the possibilities. Yeah, I guess I find myself kind of fascinated with this. And I think it's inevitable that we, as humans, will eventually become cybernetic-ish. And I'm not talking about like accessories we can just put on our bodies and remove at will. I'm talking about implants. It's kind of happening today. I mean, let me ask you this. If you could swallow a pill that would, inject something into your body, your bloodstream, and suddenly make you 1 billion times smarter, wouldn't you take that pill? Geeks versus hipsters. Just a few seconds ago, in this very video, we compared these two, geeks and hipsters, but there are a couple of infographics which may better demonstrate the difference between a geek and a hipster. A geek might like Star Wars, Star Trek, Shaun of the Dead, The Fifth Element, Back to the Future, and Tron, and I love pretty much all of those. But a hipster might like Garden State, Life Aquatic, Donnie Darko, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Once, and Rushmore. I've seen half those movies. I enjoy 2 of them. I'm not going to tell you which 2. And last but not least, we had posted a tribute to Neil Armstrong, who over the weekend had passed away. Being one of those humans who has touched another object in our sky. That's more than just a name. That's a legacy that no one else could ever claim. And the world is certainly worse off without Neil in our presence. And there are so many heroes that touch our lives every day, whether they're in astronomy or they deal with issues here on Earth. So I hope we could recognize and certainly appreciate the heroes alive before they leave us. YouTube viewer Mosamac asks, Chris, what do you say in the end? Will you later? Or something like that. Still can't understand it. I've actually done a video. I've probably done a couple of videos on this thing. Okay, so it's very simple. The backstory you could probably look up on YouTube, but the brief part of it is I needed a sign-off in my first radio show back in Iowa on WHO radio, and I just kind of thought of something that day. Everything was E, like E this and E that and email and E document and and so I thought instead of saying we'll see you later at the end of a show, I would say we'll E you later. So it probably gets slurred sometimes, but it's we'll E you later. 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 And then, of course, that jumped into when I ended a show on Tech TV, every particular episode. And then in most of the videos that I've uploaded to YouTube, not every one of them, I will end it with an we'll E you later. Now, the 3-finger salute, that means something else, but it's also pretty geeky. So hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you also share it. Leave a comment, potentially a question. Engage. And we'll see you later. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad.